And then because of how sensitive the issue was, I broke down in the bus. I broke down in the bus.
Awkward.
And he asked me what the issue was.
I think is another thing. So those are the two things.
Yeah. The list was longer than two. Don't isolate, don't stay home, always go to church. That community is what's going to help you with the issue that you're going through.
I wish I'd said that.
Funny, I used to think he was from Ghana or Nigeria. Yeah.
No,
he's
I'm
not.
Zambian.
Stubborn. My name is Precious Muonga.
And I'm Patrick Muonga. Should I go first?
Yes, please.
I have a love for movies, and I would go to the cinema and watch movies at a place called Star Kenico when it was arcades.
Yeah.
And I used to go and watch movies even by myself. As long as if a new film is out, I'd go and watch. And on one of the times I was with my cousin or Gena, and we went to watch a movie. I forgot what the movie was, but I saw this hot little chick behind the counter, and I noticed her. She didn't notice me, but I noticed her. And then every time I would go to the cinema, I would like make a point of just like, hello, like trying to make myself known. And I kept going to the cinema, kept saying hello, kept going to the cinema, kept saying hello with every movie. And then one day I asked her out on a date, and the rest is history.
I remember him as this guy who just used to come at the cinema for movies. And funny, I used to think he was from Ghana or Nigeria. Yeah.
No, I'm
not.
Zambian.
I used to think he was from there, so usually I'll just make some silly comments. I'll just look at him like, that guy is here, and one time I had cut my hair bald, and he asked why I cut my hair, and I just briefly said, nah, I just wanted to shave off. And that was it. And after some time, I think I saw him about 2 times or 3 times at the cinema. And then we met on a bus. I was coming from town. I had an issue with a family issue, and I was coming from town, and he happened to sit next to me in the bus. And then he said hi, and I responded, and he asked if I was the lady from the cinema, and I said yes. And I said I remembered him. And then because of how sensitive the issue was, I broke down in the bus. I broke down in the bus.
Awkward.
And he asked me what the issue was. So I shared a little bit of what the issue was, and he told me to pray for my sibling, the one who caused the stress that time. And that's how it dropped off at Olympia, and I went home. And then after 2 weeks, if not a month, he was going to church for, was it Mage?
Mage, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was going for Mage at church.
Friday night.
Friday, yeah, it was a Friday, yeah, evening-ish, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I was coming from ShopRite. So when we dropped at the station, we bumped into each other again. That's when we shared contacts. And then 2 weeks after, he invited me on a date. Yes.
That was the longer version.
The better version.
We went to a couple of places, actually. I I forgot the name of the restaurant now.
Horseshoe.
Horseshoe, yeah, by
Showground.
Showground. It's not there anymore.
I think it is. Yeah, so we had a meal there, and then we went to Manda Hill. We had pizza. I can't remember what place. Yeah, we had pizza. Yeah, that was our first date. Hey, my first impression was he's very open. He was a very open book, and he just laid everything on the table. It was like, take it or leave it. This is who I am. And, growing up here and talking to him, a very open person, was a bit weird. I was like, ish, okay, this is too much to take in. But then something that was profound about him was his openness and just like his vulnerability on the first day of who he was, where he's been, and where he was at the time we met. Yeah, so yeah, just his openness really like made me like, ish, okay. Not at all. Not at all.
No, I didn't. I being a Christian and a follower of Christ, going to church, I had it in my little brain that the church where I was the place where I was gonna find a wife, and that God was gonna give me a wife, but in the church. So I was actually looking in the church, but going to watch movies. Looking in the church, going to watch movies, and it happened at the movies.
Yeah.
The very first date, I told her I'm not dating to date and do whatever. Yeah. I'm dating to marry.
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna date, there's gonna be marriage at the end of this.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm not dating you just to take you out for meals and maybe, I don't know, get you in bed or whatever reason people date. I was dating to marry.
Yeah.
What was your response? Did you say yes the very same day?
I didn't say yes the very first day.
But I didn't ask. Like, I didn't ask her to marry me the same day. I just told her, like,
he told me his intentions of dating. He was as done as I was with dating. Yeah, so he made the point, like, just straight on. He told me what he wanted. I'm not playing. This is what I want. And for some reason that's exactly what I wanted also. Yeah, but yeah. And then from there, we just started planning, I think, yeah?
Quite a while after, though, more than like maybe a year and a half or something.
No, not a year and a month. Like, because we started talking about, like, being together, like, just from the first date we had. Yeah, I would say, yeah.
I don't know, no. I think your memory is a bit shot because we were together 2 years before we married. So we didn't start talking about marriage straight away when we got together.
No, but the planning, let me say the mindset of marriage was from inception.
The mindset.
Yeah, the mindset,
The planning came much later.
A bit later, yeah.
The engagement from my side was we did premarital. We did premarital counseling at our church, which is quite extensive, and it's like a course, and you have to read a book, and you have to do homework classes, and stuff like every week. And then on the graduation of the premarital, on the graduation, when we were graduating, that's when I put a ring on it, as they would say.
So you did the old-fashioned way? Yeah. No. So for me, when he told me his intentions of like dating to marry, I was expecting the ring to come first, and then everything else after. But so we did the premarital counseling, and then we did the Chilanga Mulilo, and then the ring came after. Yeah, so the ring came the day of the graduation, but the Chilanga Mulilo was already done. The plates were already taken. So he did the first, let me know your people. The Chilanga Mulido, and then the ring came after, yeah.
My family was just excited for me. My siblings were all still in the UK because that's where I grew up.
Yeah.
They were still in the UK. They were excited, and my uncle, who I was staying with at the time, their family, they were excited, and it was just all so natural. Like just how everything just happened for me. It was just so natural, and even with the meeting of Precious's family and stuff. You know, a couple of hiccups here and there, but like,
Otherwise,
yeah, but like, it was what it was.
I was 37 when we met, huh? I think I was 37 when we met. So
36.
36, yeah, 36, I think, yeah. So there was no one, like, I was staying by myself. So most of my aunties and uncles are late. So there was no one, like, you know, when are you getting married, when this and that. So I was an independent person living my own life. So it was just my excitement, I think.
And I think even for me as well, because both our parents are late.
Yeah.
So there was no one, there wasn't really that pressure of like we have to get acceptance or anything from anyone. We were together. We knew we were gonna get married. We knew like there's nothing that can stand in the way of it. And that's how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
The wedding for me was just all a bit of a haze, like, because building up to the wedding, Precious was stressing. You know, we have to, and for me, I wasn't stressing because I knew everything was done. We're getting married, like, you know, or maybe it's just like being a man. I was a bit more laid back. She was stressing about a lot of stuff, but the wedding, everything like was just moving, and then on the actual day, when I saw her like coming like into the church, and then she threw me off as well with the song, the music. For some reason, going to weddings and watching weddings on TV, I thought like this music was gonna come on, that dun, 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 you know, the traditional. And Precious comes in, and you know it goes quiet, and then Oceans comes on, like praise and worship. Now I'm like confused. I'm like, what's going on here? And but it was awesome. It was different, and then it just like, I was like, wow, this is real now. Like, you know, then my heart started going. I started sweating, and that was my experience.
Yeah, I'd say it was a bit, because we were a bit late. We were a bit late to get ready, you know, makeup, hair, bridesmaids and stuff, matron stuff. We were a bit late, and we were rushing. And coming to the church, it was just like, just heartbeats and just waiting to see them inside. How is it like? And just, I was a bit anxious, to be honest, and overwhelmed, yeah. Even when my cousin walked me down the aisle, and I was even shaking a bit. Like, you know, it was just like, relax, holding my hand, relax. Walking down the aisle was beautiful. I was in the moment because the Ocean song for me means a lot. It just ministers to me differently. And I remember there was a time we were at church. I think it was a worship night. That song played, and before we got married, we just held hands, and it was just very deep. And you know, we connected with the song. So I chose the song for that reason. And yeah,
but never told me.
I never did, yeah. Walked down the aisle, and yeah, I was a bit nervous. I was a bit overwhelmed, you know, like just kind of awkward, the pressure, what could go wrong, what could go right. Yeah, but it was very, very good. And it became real. Like you said, it became real. Like, now this is done. There's no going back. This is just, you can only go forward from here. It was a great experience, I'd say.
Okay.
A great experience. Seven years
this year,
yes.
Together too. So, but now we've been together like 9 years. Going on 10 years.
Yeah.
My career, I'm a chef. I've been a chef over 27 years. I'm currently with Protea, the head chef there, Protea Tower, and my work is intensive. And what I mean by intensive is like, sometimes I have to work a lot, you know, and there's a lot of hours. Sometimes I have to work at night and stuff as well. But for me, I balance my work with the relationship, as in we just work around it. We work around it. I've been doing it for so long, it's just like a part of me. So we just work around it, and I think we work mostly around my job than yours.
Yeah.
You understand? So like whatever I'm doing, if I'm working late, we'll be together earlier or later and so on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, I think how we balance up our work schedules, because mine is then it was a bit intense, but now it's a bit flexible. So I could be, sometimes we're both working in the morning, so we'll go together, and then sometimes I would go to his workplace, wait for him, and then come home together. So when it's like that, it's okay. So we get to spend more time, movies and stuff. But sometimes I go in the morning and he's going in the afternoon, so meaning I knock off early and he comes home late, maybe I might be asleep or so, but I fell to sleep when he's not at home. So mostly how we balance our schedules is when we have the free time of maybe living in the morning together and then coming back. If his schedule is a bit crazy, we make time for like our alone time. Maybe we go for lunch or go for a movie. Sometimes we still do that. Yeah, so that's how we spend. Even our Sundays, most of our Sundays are free, because we both don't work on Sundays. So after church, that's when so that's, I'll just say we work around what's suitable for us during that week, depending on his work schedule. Mine is flexible. Yeah.
For me, I do cook for Precious, but not as much.
Yeah.
It's like seasonal. It's seasonal. If I'm not like working too much, I might cook at home, or might cook, and when we have some guests around, like we like to have some guests around home as well. But as in the terms of cooking, there is like special recipes that I do many recipes, which I'll be doing on a show that we're starting a show called Food for the Soul. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a chance for people to learn how to cook and also hear the gospel while we're cooking.
Yeah. There's so many he's done. I think the one that beats them all is the mashed potato with pork sausage and brown gravy
Onions.
and onions. That one is my favorite. And then the other one, I'll say it's cream chicken, I think.
But you like when I do Indian food?
Indian food as well, yeah. When he does a chicken curry with some chapatis and stuff, that one also is great, yeah. I've eaten some nice food from his hands. Yeah.
In 7 years, I can honestly say that we've been through all seasons of arguments, to the point where like I think the best way to handle conflict with me and Precious is we're both very expressional.
Yeah.
So since we're both very, very expressional, we actually do handle conflict by sitting down and talking.
Yeah.
And sometimes, we've had to build up to that, because there was once upon a time I didn't want to talk about things, but when you're dragged in front of the pastor and in front of counselors and in front of family members, you start to learn that talking is the best way.
Yeah, like you said, I think we it's something that we built up as we went along. Because before, if you say, no, there's this issue, let's talk about it, you say, no, babe, it's okay. Don't bring people in. No, it's okay, we can sort it out. But then we were never sorting it out. And through time, I continue to insist, no, we need to see a pastor. We need to talk to a therapist. We need to see someone. We need to talk to the elders. And because of maybe where he grew up from, it's different with us. For us here, if I have an issue, it's like, let's call the elders, let's sit him down or let's sit her down. But he came from a culture that, you just talk about it and it's done, and so he had to learn to, accommodate what I wanted. Because for me, it was like sit down with the elders, because the two of us are not reasoning. So let's bring in another person to help us reason with this issue. So like with time, we've grown to like talk about the issues. Now, because before we couldn't because of him, and then after he accepted to sit down whenever there's an issue with maybe an elder, a pastor, or someone. But now it's different.
Now it's different
it's
because
different
I came from a history of denial because I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Nearly 2 years clean now.
Yeah.
Praise Jesus.
Yeah.
But like being an alcoholic and not accepting that you are an alcoholic and someone can see that you are an alcoholic, you're at conflict because I did not want to get the help, or maybe I still wanted to drink.
Yeah.
But through my healing and through my recovery, I feel like our communication has got much better, and our conflict resolution has also got much better as well.
Very true. Very, very true. Yeah, now I think we find it easy to talk about issues ourselves without bringing in other people. Yeah,
That's because I'm not drunk.
Yeah, because he's sober and his reasoning is better. So we usually talk about things. We'll sit down and talk about, unless it's very, very heated, and then we'll say, okay, let's give each other some space, and then we'll visit it later. But the good part with him is that no matter how much he has messed up, he'll always come and say, I'm sorry. He'll always come and say, I'm sorry. And most of the times, even with I'm the one who's wrong, you'd always be the one to just like, dude, let's talk about this issue, what's going on. Yeah.
The first thing I appreciate my wife is her inner beauty, okay? And like, I know my wife is beautiful, but the way she looks physically is not what makes her beautiful to me. It's much deeper than that, and it's the person, it's the way she carries herself, it's the way she looks after me as a husband, it's her old school values of marriage, which I really love, and it's her submission in the marriage to me. And then just how she relates in her own personal relationship with the Lord, I think is another thing. So those are the two things.
Yeah, the list was longer than two. Two things I appreciate about my husband is his openness. He's very open. He's an open book. What's the second thing? The second thing that I appreciate more about him is the way he loves me. Because I had a child out of wedlock, and meeting him, I had a fear that he won't accept me. I have a child, he won't accept me. But then when I met him, he accepted me and he accepted my son. So I would say those are the two things, his openness and the way he accepted me and my son. Those are the very, very things that I don't take for granted, yeah.
No, there's absolute transparency with me and Precious.
Yeah.
Absolute transparency, and there's nothing about phones. She knows my password to my phone. I know a password to her phone. If she goes through my phone, maybe it's when I'm sleeping. I've not seen her doing that, but there's just absolute transparency because. We came to a place in our marriage where I feel like God brought me to a place where he said, like, if we're going to go ahead, you have to be honest. And I had to be honest. And, I messed around. And in my messing around, I told my wife. And I was very clear and said, this is what happened. And that was part of that life. Yeah. I'm not that anymore. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a drunkard anymore. This is what I am now. Yeah. If you want to leave, it's up to you. I'd rather you don't, though. And she didn't.
Yeah. So, for us, we know each other's passwords on the phone. We know each other's pins on our banks. And we use the same pin. We use the same pin on our banks. We use the same pin on our phones. So I think we are very open with each other. Before, it was a bit of a challenge for me. Growing up here, I wasn't very expressive. I was very closed up, but with him, the way he is, I think that has rubbed off on me a bit, like just being open, just talk about issues, there's nothing to hide here. So I think between us, we are very open with each other.
Yeah.
When he hasn't come home, I know now I know he's, either at work or there's this, and he knows where I am. We know where each one of us is at whatever time. So yeah, between us, I think there's nothing to hide.
For me, love is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It truly is. I believe when you find your life partner, and we all have one. I know we do, because just from stories that you hear from elders, there's people I know at church who've been together like 40 years, and like my auntie and my uncle as well, they've been married like years. And I used to think to myself, how do people stay married like 30, 40 years? Like what? But then now that I am actually in it, I understand it. And yeah, that's what it is.
One lesson learned in marriage. I think not every conflict leads to divorce. It's not every conflict that leads to divorce, because last year we were hit, 2023, 2024, we were hit with something that could have broke us. Literally broke us. It would have broke us. But with the grace of God and having a community that held us up in prayer, in encouragement, and just financially, physically, emotionally, we were able to pull through. So for me, not every conflict in marriage should lead to divorce. There are things that can happen. You can talk about it. If not, seek help outside, because just between the two of you, you might not find a solution and answer. But when you bring in someone who knows better, they'll be able to help. So
it has to be a Christian
it has to be,
community.
yes.
The people that pray with you, and people
same value, godly values, yes. Birthday 9 September.
24 June.
25th.
25th.
How can you forget? It was just last month.
Sorry.
25th June.
25th.
Yeah.
I'm not really big on birthdays, because the older I'm getting, I don't really care about it. To be honest, I don't want to be reminded of my age, because I don't feel that old. But this year was a real special birthday, because last year, like Precious said, we had some issues last year, and I was away, and Precious did not have a birthday last year, so I made this one real special. It was real special.
Very, very special. Yeah, my word of encouragement would be, first, don't suffer in silence. Don't suffer in silence. There are people out there who can help. There's a community. Seek church help. If the church can help, I believe the church should be the best person to help, best place to get the help that you need.
Yeah.
Go to your marriage counselors, explain the situation. I know for men it's very hard to come and say, no, I need help. But for women, because we are very expressive, so it's easy for us to say, I'm going through this and I need help. So go talk to someone about it. Seek help from the church, seek help from counselors. If not, you want a private person, go. There are a lot of places, even hospitals have counselors. Seek someone, seek for help. Make sure you talk to someone about it and get guidance, because it's not easy living with an alcoholic. It's not easy at all. It's crazy, trust you me. It's a story for another day. It's really, really crazy, but there's grace. There's grace to us, and God carries us through. So if you feel like you're battling with an alcoholic husband and it's getting on your nerves and you can't take it anymore, seek help. Go to therapy places, seek to talk to pastors and counselors at church, pray about it, and see how best you can get help. There's always a way that you can get help. It's not every a husband who drinks that, can lead to divorce. Some drink because of some issues. It could be post-trauma. It could be they're coming from a family of alcoholics, So there's a lot of factors that cause people to drink. So, don't just give in the towel. Seek help. There is help out there.
My word of advice from my own experience of someone who's drinking or you're having problems and it's affecting your marriage. Number one, the very first thing is to come to a place of acceptance. You have to accept that I am a drunkard, I am an alcoholic, and I have a problem and I need help. If you can't come to that place, nothing's going to happen. Unfortunately, nothing will happen. So for me, you have to come to that place of brokenness. And in my own experience, I just had to come to a place when I was just like, God, and just help me with this thing. I cried out to the Lord. And this is amazing just how God just opened doors and everything. And now it's nearly 2 years since I last had a drink. And, it's an amazing thing, but for me, you have to come to that place. That's the best advice I can give anyone. Is because when you come to that place where you're totally helpless, broken, and you can admit that I've got a problem. That means if you can admit you've got a problem, you're admitting that you need help. Because if you can't admit it, that means you don't need help. Who are you going to listen to? You don't need help.
Very true.
But if you say, yes, I do have a problem and I came to that place, and when you do come to that place, God opens up doors and help is available.
And just something on what you said, because we also have this mindset to say, no, if you're a Christian and you drink, you should not go to church. We see Jesus saying, come unto me, or you are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. So you might be battling with alcohol and your husband, and your marriage is almost falling because of that. Don't run away from Christ. Go to Christ. That's what he did in his case. He kept, even in his broken state, even when he was intoxicated, he will always pray. He always reads scriptures because he loves scriptures. And so even when you're failing out there as a husband, falling down, keep going to the Master, keep going to Christ, keep reading the scriptures. Don't isolate, don't stay home, always go to church. That community is what's going to help you with the issue that you're going through.
I wish I'd said that because that was great. Thank you. Because that's what I did. I never ran away from Christ. Even in my drunkenness, I would always run to him. Whether drunk or not, I would always run to him. I'd still go to church. I'd still serve at church. I was just like,
always seeking him,
The problem is with drinking for me, but just quickly, the problem is with drinking for me, it's always something that has come hand in hand with my job. Every place where you work as a chef, there's alcohol. Alcohol and food, they go together. So it was very hard for me, but I never ran away from the Lord. Never ran away from the Lord. And that's why I believe he set me free.
My name is Precious Muonga.
My name is Patrick Muonga.
And this is how we met.